Hey guys, it's Arcade and I'm back with another tutorial. Today I'm gonna show you how to make future house drums. This also works for deep house or basically any other EDM music. I'm going to be using sample pack by Kashmir. It has some really nice high quality drum sounds. Let's start by choosing a kick. I like this one. It has this snap to it in high frequencies, and that makes it sound really nice in the mix. Now let's right click the sample and choose fill each 4 steps. Or we can also do this manually. One thing to notice here that the kicks in this sample pack are key labeled. As you can see, this one is G sharp, and this can be useful once combining the kicks with a bass. So you should make the song in a key of G sharp, but it's not necessary, but it can help the kick to sound better in the mix. Moving on, let's choose a clap sound. Let's just go to regular claps, and the classic clap works well. Make sure to change the volume of the clap if necessary. You don't want the clap to be too loud, but also not too quiet. When playing with the kick, it should sound just about natural to your ears. Next step is the cymbals. Pretty important, especially in deep house and future house, where you want the drums to have certain groove. This one is the most basic one, but it just works well. I also want to mention that if you want, you can choose a completely different open hi-hat. It will work just as well. Once you get the rhythm right, you can just replace the sounds and have a completely different beat. So the open hi-hat goes off beat, so we're gonna fill each step like this. And again, change up the volume if necessary. Let's actually set the tempo to 125. For this type of beat, we can use anything from 120 to 128. It will work, but I think 125 sounds better for this beat. Next, we need a closed hi-hat. Let's go with this one. And we're just gonna put it after the first open hi-hat and the third one. This is kind of a filler. It's just gonna be there in the background. You are not really supposed to notice it that much. Let's actually put it only in the first one. Let's try a few other hi-hats, if they sound better. Yeah, I think I like this one better. Now, this hi-hat alone doesn't sound really good. It kind of sticks out, and that's not what you want. So we're gonna add more stuff in the background so everything kind of merges together, so nothing will like stick out. Another useful tip is to change the panning, so all the sounds will play more in one speaker than the other. This will widen up the sound and make everything sound more natural. Let's also change it for the open hi-hat. But don't go too crazy with this. Another useful sound we can add is the shaker. And it will actually follow the open hi-hat and change the sound of the whole thing a little bit. And let's make this a little bit more interesting and make it follow the close hi-hat as well. But let's change the velocity of the second note. Actually, change it to this. And just make it quieter. Let's actually add one more note right here and also change the velocity. Now this makes everything sound a little more groovy. Now, important step, listen carefully, let's add some swing to the beat. That will completely change the groove. Now this is too extreme, but we're gonna just adjust it so it sounds just about right. Next, we're gonna use some percussion to add even more to the background sounds of the beat. Let's just make it follow the open hi-hat as well, but this sound should be like pretty subtle. So let's change the panning here. So one time it's gonna play in the right speaker and one time in the left. And we're gonna also lower the volume so that sound is just like not really obvious in the mix. So I decided to add one more note here, just so we have some more variation. For the sounds like this one, this percussion, you can make some interesting rhythms and it won't really be that obvious in the song. It will just be there in the background and that just works well. Let's add another filler. And this time it will be a snare. This one is nice. And then we're just gonna put it right about here. Like really offbeat type of sample. If you want, you don't really need to use snare. You can also use another percussion or another sound. Just something that will fill in the space in between the kick and the clap. Now we don't want this beat to repeat itself over and over again in the song. We probably want some changes. Each time it repeats itself, there will be a small change in the rhythm. So we're just gonna put it in playlist, click on the icon, little icon right there, and make unique. That's gonna duplicate the pattern we already had, but we can change it now. Another thing you can do while you have the pattern selected in Step Sequencer, you can click Ctrl Shift and C, and that's also gonna duplicate the pattern without it being in the playlist. So yeah, let's delete one of the patterns now. And just put both of them in the playlist, pattern 1 first, then pattern 2. And we're gonna edit pattern 2 slightly. Yeah, that's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna add this one snare note right there, and that's gonna make a whole lot of difference. Okay, now let's also make unique the last pattern in our sequence. So we have pattern 1, 2, 1, and 3 now. And we're gonna edit that one as well. Just gonna put a few more snares there. Now we have this whole sequence and let's listen to it. So that's good because it keeps evolving as it goes. It doesn't just repeat itself over and over again. It keeps changing up, and that's really nice when you are listening to the song. Now to make this interesting, let's add some sub bass. So I opened up Massive and loaded one of my presets from my Ultra Future House sample pack. Now this will be available with the free download of this project file, so don't worry. Now I open up piano roll and we're just gonna make like a really simple bass melody. Let's just put it in the playlist. And let's actually do sidechaining for the bass. So let's put it on channel 5. Just click the plugin and choose channel 5 here. And then click on the kick and put it on channel 1 or insert 1. Open the mixer, select the channel with the kick, which is 1. And while kick is selected, right click under the channel 5, where's the bass, and choose sidechain to this track. Now click the insert with the bass and add Fruity limiter. Change it to compressor, change this to 1, and just move these two parameters until it sounds good, and we're just gonna listen to it right now. So every time the kick hits, it's gonna lower the volume of the bass. We can see that right here. As you can see, these lines. So just move this around until it sounds just about right. So the kick and the bass don't clash together with the low frequencies. It would create a lot of rumble. So this way, it's kind of balanced. That's what it's for. That's pretty much it. We can also add a down sweep at the start of the song. Maybe it's just this clean down sweep. And we pretty much created an intro of a song. So here is the finished result. So yeah guys, that's it. I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you want, check out my sample packs and also check out Kashmir's sample pack, this one I used in the tutorial. And also you can download the FLP file, the project file of this tutorial. Link is in the description as well. Also let me know if I should start making these tutorials in FL12 instead of this old FL10. So yeah, see you in the next one. Goodbye.